What up, what up? Welcome back to another episode of Big Classic Podcast Talk. And my man, co-host extraordinaire, Rashad Scott.
Yo,
we are sitting here today. I'm Fred Biggie Smalls, currently 8 weeks out from the Masters Olympia. And, I'm not sure if my man, Walter, is... Oops, cut it out.
hey, whatever.
Okay. We're going to curse right here.
Yeah, it is, might as well.
Welcome to another episode of Big Classic Talk with my man Rashad Scott right here. I'm Fred Biggie Smalls, and we are currently 8 weeks out from the Masters Olympia. Things are getting exciting. So what's been going on, brother?
Not much. Super busy day today.
Yeah?
I think I was 12 hours straight today.
Oh, nice. Business is good.
Yeah, well, going away this weekend too, so I had to push them all up in 2 days.
I like it.
7 days worth of work in 2 days.
I feel you. So you tired? Okay.
Yeah,
That's what's up.
about you. I know you tired.
Yeah.
Hey, it's just,
It's we had the Team Universe this past weekend. We had a few athletes in there, and everybody was top 10. And a guy takes second in the Masters. We had a lot of people here at the gym that did well. I think Shell took second, Chris took second, which meant they both got pro cards. Man, it's a good time to be an amateur in the NPC. You know,
Hell yeah.
they are a lot, not easier. It's a lot.
No, easier is the
It's
correct
an easier criteria to turn pro now.
word. It's still, the hard work is still there.
And but I'm kind of jealous because I was top four times before I got my pro card. And I was right there in second place before. And but the good thing is. The good thing about that is you get your pro card. The bad thing about that is
You start over.
you're starting over, right? You're in the pro leagues and you're, but you know what? It's one of those deals where as long as you got the mindset that it's just the beginning and you're still willing to work hard, it doesn't matter how you get there, it's what you do with it, right? So God bless both of them. That's awesome, man. It's exciting. And I look forward to seeing what they both can do with it, Yeah, so my coach is kicking my ass.
Clearly.
Kicking my ass. My energy levels are rough. Rough. We've been under 100 gram of carb here for majority of the last 3 weeks, and now he's got me doing hour cardio, and the thing that's crazy for me is typically the way I look right now. If I was 5 weeks out looking like this, I'd be excited.
Yeah.
And we are just a hair under 8 weeks at 7 days, at 7 weeks, 6 days. And he made it very clear. He's like, you have the ability to win that show. Working with Chris Aceto, so he's best of the best. He said, you have the ability to win that show 110%. You just need to be peeled inside out. So he says he's going to get me to a level I've never been at in my career. And I'm excited for the challenge. So I actually called my boy Taj up last night, and we were talking. We trained together in college, and he's married on the West Coast now. But throughout my career, he's always been like in my corner, kind of cheering me on, and always sound advice. But one thing he used to say to me when we train all the time is, "It's just pain. It's just pain. Embrace it. It's just pain." And as simple of a statement as that is, when you're going through it, it really helps. It really helps. I'll be like, I was doing cardio yesterday, and I've been lifting my whole life. Cardio has always been the challenge, and that's a different type of burn, right? It's a
Way different
type of challenge to push yourself into that uncomfortable zone with cardio. Most bodybuilders never really do that. Well, doing this HIIT cardio, you're constantly doing that.
Yes.
And a HIIT for an hour fucking sucks. So I'm on my last sprint in the final 50 minutes of my cardio, or the final 10 minutes of my cardio. So I'd already done 50. And I'm on my last sprint, and I'm doing it. And I'm in, it's like 2-minute sprints at a time. And my legs just felt like they wouldn't fucking work. I was like, they're not working. And I was sitting there and I'm like, it's just pain. Just fucking do it. Just do it. One foot in front of the other. Just do it. It's just pain. It's gonna make you better. It's just pain. And I, finally got the right song on, and I'm just crushing it, man. And the guy comes up to me, like some guy that's in the gym was like, man, you were killing that machine, And it's like, it felt great when I was done, but when I was doing it, holy shit. I was like, man, this sucks. This is like doing a bunch of squats over and over and over again, So it's definitely a challenge. And what I'm most excited about during this prep is this. I didn't know if my body would handle it. Being 47 now, and like, am I going to be able to handle going to that dark space in my head? Am I going to be able to handle the physical, demand on my body at this age? Am I going to be able to still work? Thank God I got my 2 assistants, one Elmo and one Ethan right now. They're helping me tremendously, and then we got Joe and my son when he decides to come in. They're helping me tremendously, but without them, I'd be sunk. And so it's pretty cool to be getting ready for this and wake up every day with a sense of like, there is no if I get time, what if I get to do this, like it's none of that. It's intentional behavior as soon as I get up, deliberate, everything's deliberate, and it's like everything's got to be purposeful, because if it's not purposeful, then I won't fit everything in, So, like tomorrow's July 4th.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Working.
Yeah, everything in 2 days.
Yep. 7 to 4.
Yeah, all right. I'm going to wake up when I'm done sleeping tomorrow. I'm excited about that. That's what I'm excited about tomorrow. I'm actually going to wake up when I'm done sleeping. And, but still got to do cardio, still got to train, still got to make sure the meals are done eating, and we definitely, everything's got to be done with a specific intent. And that's what's exciting about doing this show and getting ready for this thing, is that it's kind of giving that focus to everything in my life right now. The businesses, even the way I parent right now. It's like everything's got to be done with a specific intent, because that's the only way you get everything done, everything finished. So, so it's been cool, man. It's been cool. When, I saw Phil Clahar win this past weekend in Orlando Pro, and he's 50, and that's gonna
49.999.
Well, yeah, so he's right there. And Chris tells me, he's the favorite, but you can beat him because he's got more flaws than you. It's like, this is the same coach that told me going into the Arnold Australia. I said, you think I can be competitive? He's like, well, you're going to need more than training and diet for that. You're going to need some prayer too. Right? So he's brutally honest. And he told me, peeled inside out. Nobody's been peeled. Everybody's been in good shape. Even Phil was in great shape. But there's still a standard you can go beyond that. And he said, if you're willing to do it, I can get you there. And which everyone knows, Chris Acetos can get anybody in crazy shape.
Yeah.
He's like, if you're willing to do it, I can get you there, and you just got to do what I tell you to do. So when he sent back my program this morning, and I was like, I knew he was going to feed me. I just knew it. We've been at this low carb for a long time now, and I'm thinking, man, I know he's going to feed me. Nothing. He said,
no carbs.
Doing great. Keep it going. I get a serving of cream of rice in the morning, and I get 3/4 cup of rice with steak at meal 3. But I feel like I'm a decent sized individual. That shit ain't doing nothing. I eat it and it's gone. We did leg day today, and that shit was fucking phenomenal. It's amazing what will can cause you to do.
Mm-hmm.
But what's up with you? How's the business?
Good. 14 signups in the first
job,
3 days, 4 days.
Good job,
Thank you. We getting there. I've had a lot of interest from other folks. People, why has this never been open before? But, well, not the model they had before.
Right.
Now we're doing it different. You know, I remember Planet Fitness. My bill's not gonna be $10 a month. I'm not that place.
Right.
But why are you different? Oh, okay. Let me sign up. There it is.
Yeah.
Sign up. It's amazing how the pieces fall together when you're building something like this, But now, like you were just alluding to, I came in halfway, apologize for being late, everybody, but the rain is ridiculous out there. I'm ready. I'm now getting into my prep mode for what I got to do next 13
America,
weeks.
baby.
Mr. America, yeah. So I need to be, like you said, peeled inside out. So we'll talk after the show, and then we'll document my journey too, like y'all did for him for the universe. I mean, for the Masters.
Goddamn universe. It's an amateur show. I'm kidding.
No, but it's a,
Oh, shit.
and it's true though, right? When you're prepping for a show, you have to do everything in the same order, because if you don't, shit gets out of order quick.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, man. Like, I took my kids to see Indiana Jones last night.
How was that?
And I slept
Ooh.
through most of it. No, Janine liked it. She thought it was good. My son, this is probably the best. He said, it's predictable. It gets exciting. You get close, and then you're like it drops off, and then it gets exciting. They get close, and then it drops off. It's like a constant, I almost got it. And he said, it's just. It's okay. Janine said it was good, but even she said she didn't think it was going to do that great in theaters. Why do we have a ring light and it's not on?
It's a tripod. You got good lighting for this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, last week, didn't you say we needed?
So-
It didn't make a difference.
Oh, gotcha.
I'm just saying, we could go to Best, and it's bright in there. I got wood floors,
I know.
nice
I know,
wall.
I know.
Soon I have the butterfly on the wall. It'll be nice. It's gonna be good.
I think we're going to. Elmo's willing to go, and he's going to be doing everything for us. So, Elmo's World.
I think the hardest thing is what's too much when it comes to opening the spot. Like, how much more should I buy? I think I'm
Yeah, because what ends up happening, I'm sure you're there, and all your mind is probably going a million miles a minute, going like, okay, if I do this, if I do that, if I do
Exactly.
this, and I remember when I was at this place, and
I saw this.
oh, this would be great. And a client will come in, you'll do something like, but if I had this,
Yeah, no.
but you have to, and that, that's what's your standard, right? Like, what's the standard you want here, and what is the ultimate feeling you want everybody to have, right? Because,
Right.
for me, part of my issue is right now, and the reason why I think it was so appealing for me to get back into prep is because it brought clear purpose
Right.
to my day-to-day, right? I was talking to somebody yesterday, and it's like the only reason why my training business is not 7 figures is because it's too diversified, right? I'm not, you're very clear in the clientele you want. And I love that about you, and you're purposeful. You're like, I want this clientele, nothing else, this is what I'm going after. And I love that. For me, I love all people, right? So, I love the competitors, but I don't want to miss out on working with the female that's trying to lose 6 sizes for a wedding, right? I love getting people jacked, but then when the model comes to me and says, I want to get ready for this role, I want to be able to help that person too, right? And a female, I love training the upper tier bodybuilders, but I started this game helping females because females typically lose sight of themselves when they have children and a family. So the fact that I can help them be not just Mrs. Whoever and Tommy's mom, but be Elaine again, Janine again, whoever again, and that be meaningful and purposeful for them.
Sure.
Because they're accomplishing something for themselves, not just, well, I got to run this here, run that there. Not there's anything wrong with being a mom and a wife. That's amazing. But I feel like it empowers women to be able to be mom and wife and having something for themselves.
Sure.
You know, and I think sometimes, you know, it's even better for the children because the children see like mom in a different light. Like, damn, my mom's like accomplishing
Working
this,
hard, right.
Yeah. So, and that's what got me excited about training women for bodybuilding, because I was like taking women that no one in the gym thought could do it, and we were doing it and winning. You know, and I always use that one example of the woman Carla. She was people were, Carla ain't gonna do no show, laughing at her basically to her face. And not only we do the show, we took top 5 in nationals 3 years later. And she looked fucking shredded, you know what I mean? So like the thing is, like her respect from her husband went from her being like, he's never home, to him being up her ass all the time. He's like, yo, my wife's hot again, you know what I mean? So it's like that kind of empowerment to create from a purpose standpoint. She's getting up and she has her purpose too. It's very exciting for me, you know. So
for me, it's the person similar to you, but for a different reason that I work with women, right? You know, a lot of times, in my opinion, in our industry, women are the most underserved. You know, they just get stuck with, you know, elliptical treadmill, and no one helps them to show them the way that they can actually lose weight. You can lift weights. You're not going to look like a bodybuilder. It's okay to lift heavy weights and you still be feminine.
yeah, sure.
You know, so that's kind of how I do it, and get folks to buy into themselves.
Yeah.
Like you said, you know, finding themselves again, that's a big deal for people.
Yeah.
You know, the thank yous that you get after they lose 40, 50, 60 pounds.
Sure.
That's what it's all about, man. You know, you gave me back my life. You took this diabetes drug off my plate, and I don't have to take it anymore. That's always the best for me.
Yeah,
that phone call
cool.
for me,
Yes.
when folks call me and say, Walter, I went back to my doctor. I'm off of metformin.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Those are the things that I do this shit for.
Yeah, and you know what? I enjoy that too, and that's why it's so hard to isolate any type of clientele.
Right.
The only thing I won't do, like I absolutely have no interest in training powerlifters and strength and pure strength athletes, and the only reason is because it's an entirely different animal than physique transformation. But anything that falls in that physique transformation window, I enjoy, right?
And when I have those customers, I send it to him because that's not my expertise.
Right.
I'm a weight loss person. I am a person that gets you motivated to drop the weight.
Yeah.
You know, that's the...
I mean, and that's cool, right? Like, because, you know, a person says to me, you know, I want to lose a certain amount of pounds, and we can certainly do it, but I also want to see your physique just look a certain way, right? So, you know, like people tell me all the time, why don't you post this before and after? I'm like, it's not really the standard I want to set.
That's not what you do. Right, exactly.
So, you know, and so like, what's your standard? And you know, what do you want your business to represent you, right? Like that's
your carve out.
Like, can you definitively say that? And for me, I can honestly say I struggle with that a lot, you know. And I think if I could definitively know,
well, that's the key,
you know, because I would isolate everything else and just go 100%, right?
And that for me, I know that what I'm good at, and I know what I'm not good at. I mean, could I be a coach? Probably for a bodybuilder, probably.
Yeah.
You know, but that's not my skill set. That's not what I'm, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I've even gotten to a point now where like it's truly rewarding in this sense. Like, I used to get very upset when an athlete would be upset with me because of a placing. Especially when I'm like, you got up this morning and loved the way you look. You've never seen yourself like this. You're 100 times better than you were the time before. And you're pissed at me? Like, I used to take that shit personally. And I realized that, you know what, like, sometimes certain personalities don't mesh. Sometimes it's easier for a person to blame someone else than take accountability. And sometimes it's okay to say, look, all right, we don't fit, go over there. I'll cheer from you from afar.
That's it.
And be happy for you, because having a client that's not extremely happy and excited to work with me, I'm good. Go over there. Because, you know, I have enough that are. So, and if one door shuts, there are 10 more that open.
Bingo.
Right? So, the idea is like, and when I lose it, because if I lose it based on my inability to do something, then it's, all right, game one, let me get better, So,
Right.
But I was training today, and someone asked me, like, how do you overcome workout plateaus? And when I was training today, I was like, I don't really know that I have workout plateaus, right? Like I have times when I feel like, man, I've been stuck at this weight, but not really. Like typically I'm if I push it or program it properly, I overcome it, right? And I was like, so when they asked me this question about like, how do you overcome workout plateaus? And I say to myself, my clients don't have those. Like, almost never have had a client truly plateau as long as the programming is solid, right?
Right.
So that's the first step. Your programming has to be solid. Can't just be going in the gym and doing whatever the fuck you feel
Haphazardly,
like.
right.
They're like, oh, I train instinctively.
I don't know what
That means you're
means.
probably staying the same. Well, a lot of bodybuilders train instinctively, right?
You think so?
I know so. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, like, a lot of bodybuilders don't write shit down. Especially old school. Like, I have a journal from the day I walked in the gym until I turned pro, and even well into my pros, I have journals and journals and journals. Because I used to write every workout down. And then what got me out of that habit is when Paul Carter started doing my workouts, I got out of the habit of writing down because he was telling me what to do. And then I started, and then like you're doing the same things consistently, so you can kind of know where you're at and push up. But honestly, like when you really should write down the numbers you're hitting, right? Because that way when you come in, it's not about emotion, it's about the real number. Like, how do I push past this next number? But I was doing hack squats, and I had 6 plates, and I felt like I went to failure around 10 reps. My brain said, do you think you need to do another one? And I'm like, all right, if I do another one, am I going to get injured? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. Undernourished.
Right?
Low fat.
Like, do I need to push to that, And I walked in another room, I did a set with Janine, I'm like, come back, and I'm like, still in my head, do I need to do another set? And I'm like, yeah, fuck it, we need to do another set. We need to do that next set. And I went to true failure around 7 reps. I could feel the difference. And the reason, and part of the reason why I also stopped, because I was like, I feel like I'm feeling a twinge or something, right? But I'm like, I did the next rep and I went, boom, I failed. But I felt like that's the money set. That's the money set. And I feel like when people train, very few people get that money set. Like the set that's gonna make your body change
is the one where you get stuck in it.
Yeah, you're like
stuck in it. Yeah.
The one that makes you get anxiety before you start the workout.
Right.
Because you're like, man, I'm gonna push myself to this level.
Yeah.
How am I gonna push myself to this level again? I feel like most people don't train like that, right?
No, I won't say it's an old school way of working, but it's definitely not a way that's practiced that often today.
No, not at all, man. I think
Everybody wants to stop when they get.
Yeah, like, oh man, my form is getting a little bit.
That's what my guys, the guys I live with, Angelo and the guys I live with, we don't do that. We push each other, encourage each other, and there's no such thing as. It's if you stuck, okay, we're gonna talk shit about you, but we're gonna get back on and gonna do it again.
Right, and like what's evident about like I kind of puff my chest out and get excited when I see how much G has changed. He don't even look like the same person no more, and everyone was laughing at him about his legs, and I looked at his legs there, like, these motherfuckers got big.
They're getting there, yeah.
They getting big, and I'm like, everyone's laughing about, he ain't got a real physique. He's always, and now he looks fucking amazing. Like, 4G, he looks amazing.
Right.
And I think once we cut him down, he's going to look great, you know. And he has trained under my system since 2020, the end of 2021.
Wow. It's been that long?
It's been that long, and he's only training under my system. And I have a number of examples of that, like people training under my system only and going from gaining 30, 40 pounds of muscle, enhanced and unenhanced, right? So, like, but I think the common denominator is, are you pushing yourself past that line?
Well, that's the hard part. You know, that's the hard part. If you don't have, you can't push that way by yourself. You shouldn't push that way by yourself.
No, I don't believe you can. I don't believe you can. Like,
exactly.
I think anyone that tells me,
your brain is going to shut down. You won't let you. Your brain won't let you.
We have this kid, he's in training with us right now. He's like, oh, I love training by myself. And he's trained with us twice. He's like, fuck, I'm smoked. You know, like, it's different. It is different when someone else is pushing you. You know, and hence why, if you ain't got no partner, you need a trainer. You need a trainer.
Agreed.
Right?
But you need a trainer who's there the whole time, not just give you a plan and go do it. You got to be working with your coach.
Yeah, I believe that having a plan, a game plan, some sort of game plan is very important. But if you can, everybody can scrape it together. You need to make the commitment to at least train with their trainer a few times so you can get an idea of what that intensity feels like. Because you don't even know what it feels like to push past that line unless you've had a trainer.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't even know. Because
you're
like,
I co-sign that.
It burns.
No. It's different when you can't pick it up.
It's different when it's numb.
When you're stuck. Yeah.
When it's numb. You don't even feel it no more. It's just numb.
Yeah, you know, I think we did that one time we were doing the hip thrust. Fucking 5-second hold at the top.
Oh, yeah. Shit. Who's
I got stuck on that. That was a killer.
Who's going to make themselves do that? You know, like and for me, like I have my partners and I have the knowledge I have, but when I'm training and I look at them, I know, okay. Like when I look at G, I know, is this the workout? Is this good enough? Because if it's good enough, he ain't talking to me.
Yeah, you know what I'm in, and you know what I'm in. So what's next? That's all I want to know.
Yeah. When he stops talking, I love my man. When he stops talking, and he's not joking, and he's not on his phone all the time, and all that stuff, I know the workout's good enough. You know, I know that's when we hitting that spot. Because when they ain't hitting that spot, my man is laughing, joking talking to everybody in the gym. You know, so today we hit that spot, and it was a good day. It was a great day. So, so that's what I think. Like, you know, an effective plan and being able to have the effort, will, and discipline in yourself to say, I'm going to push it as hard as I need to push it. That's how you're going to get past those plateaus, right? And how do you keep your people's motivation high?
I think I talk to a lot of people from the gate. You know, I do the normal Monday motivation, Wednesday hump day, Friday going into the weekend. But I tell my people, you know, between a lot of the books I listen to, motivation is crap, right? It's good, but it's still crap. Because if you're relying strictly on motivation, this day you're just not gonna fucking feel like it.
Absolutely.
And you know, discipline in your diet and your training and all that shit, that's what matters. It's what do you have when the motivation is gone? Because nobody can afford to have a motivator in their ear all day, every day.
Yeah.
It's the discipline. It's are you able to consistently put yourself in a place where you know you're gonna be uncomfortable, at least while you're going for whatever it is you're going for.
Right.
You know, my mom was like, I haven't talked to you in the past 5 months, Walter. Except for the funerals, I haven't talked to you. I've been busy, yo.
You said it's your mom?
Yeah, I've been busy.
You gotta call your mom, bro.
I did. We talk. I'm gonna go see you tomorrow, but I be busy. I've been spending my time in the hole focusing on birthing this business.
Yeah.
And I get it, people. I understand. You gotta have balance. Fuck that, dude. You have to be disciplined so much to the point that you eat, sleep, breathe, dream, whatever, that business.
Yeah, I don't.
Or that.
Yeah,
whatever.
I don't think that balance is a real thing.
Yeah.
When you're creating and building something.
Yeah.
I think balance is one of those things. It's okay, I got this built. Now let me see how I can balance other things in my life.
Exactly.
Because, think about it, right? If we're having balance, that means we saying, all right, I'm not going to work on these certain days because we got these going on.
Right.
But if you're trying to build a business and opportunities there, but you have to take those opportunities because
every time
we don't know when those opportunities are not going to be there, right? So, and until you can afford, until you know your system's working like a fucking well-run engine, right? Then you have to keep building that system. You got to keep building that momentum. Like I heard this guy talk the other day, and he's, $100 million guy, and he says, I don't like to take too much time away from my businesses because it takes momentum away from the business, right? But I like to take consistently every quarter 3 and 5 day vacations because it allows me to get away from it for a second,
and then come back.
see it from a bigger view, and then I always come back with more ideas.
Sure.
Right? So, but then you have someone who's just starting a business and they say stuff like, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. I just need to take a week off.
You just got sore legs.
I'm like,
that's it. You just got sore legs.
Like what? Like, you haven't even built it up yet. What do you mean you want to take a week off? Like, that's crazy to me.
And I think that's the thing. It's all of the things that you don't know. Do I know how to run a business? Yeah, I can run a business. I ran car dealerships forever. Do I know how to talk to you? Of course. Can I sell? Of course. But how do you put all those things together and only count on you?
Yeah.
And then once you got it built, so then let it go and count on someone else.
Oh man, that bottleneck
to run.
That bottleneck is real because that's, for me, what allowed me to get over that was my injury.
Right.
But for years before that, we stayed at a certain level because I wouldn't allow anyone else to have access to doing everything.
That's right.
But the injury, I had to let go. I had to let go of some control. And when I let go of that control, I was like, oh, okay, well, there are some things falling through the cracks, but the reward of it and the bigger piece of it is more people can get seen, more people turn over faster. And
that's it.
At that point, it's like, okay, if I manage my people well, then we
manage
can
the
continue
process.
to grow, right? The
That's
process,
it.
right? But again, it goes back to you got to get that process.
You got to get it, and that's and that's kind of where the discipline versus the motivation comes in. Am I motivated every day to get up?
Hell no.
But am I disciplined to get up?
Yeah. Well,
now the prep has started for me, and I got up this morning at 3:30 because I know I had to be at the gym at 5. At 3:30, doing that cardio sucked ass.
It does.
But it's required because I got to get to the spot at 5. So.
Yeah. and same here. Like for me, I've found during this prep, and I actually experienced in my last prep when I was more shredded than I ever was before. Like I found it through my lack of discipline in other areas, but as long as you're hitting that cardio consistently and hard, it doesn't matter so much when you do it. Now, if you run into a snag or you run into a part of the diet where you feel like your body's not changing, then of course faster cardio will be a variable we use.
Right.
But as long as you're consistently doing it hard, intensely, and it's consistent, night, morning, it doesn't really matter. I'm finding that out.
Yeah.
But for you, it also makes sense to do it in the morning because you don't never know how your day is going to go during the day. And if you get it done in the morning,
it's done.
It's out of the way, right?
It's done.
For me, I know. 1 a.m. in the morning, if I ain't got that shit done, it's still gonna
you
get
gotta
done.
get done. That's
It's
right.
still gonna get done. I already know. So
And like for me, it's I know I can lift throughout the day.
yeah,
You know, I can lift throughout the day, especially on Tuesdays and Thursdays, because I can lift with one of my clients or something like that. Who's a heavy lifter. I can live with him on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But other than that, to Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I can lift from 9 until 11.
right.
I got gym at the house, and now I have the regular gym. I can do that. But having that partner, like you said before, it's not even an accountability partner for me now. It's I need a fucking spotter.
Well, like when you're sitting there, and today I'm doing the horizontal leg press, unilateral one,
Okay.
and I'm doing it, and it's like I'm not even thinking about the weight we're adding, because I know my partner's got it.
Right.
Right? Like we're doing quad bias leg press, and I'm not even worried about the injury basis, because when I start failing, I look at G, I'm like, get shoulder in there, get shoulder in there. Right? So it's like not even a matter of, so now when you take that element off the table, you can really just go for
Cautious. Yeah.
it. Because you don't have to worry about it.
That's right.
So training by yourself, a lot of factors, like I use dumbbells.
I'm not gonna go as heavy.
But yeah, when I get into the 120s, 150s, and stuff like that, and I'm pressing, like, if I don't come back with this right.
And I'm thinking about it because we just watched what's his name, Charles, whatchamacallit, partially tear his pec. Carl Griffin partially tore his pec. So those different things, man.
Yeah, when you have a good partner and a good spotter,
that makes a big difference.
Huge difference.
But that correlates to business. It correlates to everything.
It does, because everything, man. Like, my mom, when we were growing up, she used to run us everywhere. We did every activity. She was committed to making sure we were involved in as many activities as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how many times I hear, like, my first ex-wife, she would always be like, "Oh, I don't feel like taking her. I don't feel like this." And I would always get frustrated with this, because I'm like, there's a short window.
Right.
The short window when these kids can be involved in everything. You get to high school, if you ain't good, you ain't playing everything. College, forget about it. You playing in a club, and even if you suck in the club, you still might not get no playing time.
Bingo.
Right. So that grade school time frame, from the time they're 5 years old to 8th grade, is precious.
Sure.
To allow them to experience whatever they are interested in. And you have the ones that excel, but even if you don't excel, you learn how to work in a framework of a team.
Right.
You learn how to push yourself a little harder.
Mm-hmm.
You learn disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, even though they got participation awards and all that stuff, if you're on a fucking team, you're gonna get disappointed.
Yep.
Right? You're gonna have to learn how to share time,
Mm-hmm.
especially in a rec league when you
How to earn time.
yeah, all that stuff. Like, and I tell my younger son, he'll sit there and be like, "Oh, I suck." Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that, because did you get out over the last week? Get out there and practice.
Every day.
Right? Like, do you ever see dad wake up and not go train that day?
But that's
it's the same thing, right?
But it's unrealistic expectation.
For what?
Exactly. So one of the hardest things for me as a coach is not expecting from other people what I expect from me.
Well, again, I'm not pushing my son to do that. What
Right.
I said to my son is, don't tell me you suck.
Right, without trying.
Tell me you didn't work hard enough on your craft. Because the only reason you suck in your mind is because you're not performing the way you want to perform. But how are you going to perform the way you want to perform if you ain't do the work?
Right.
Right? Because you played, I'm going to say Nintendo, I'm old as shit. PlayStation 5. And you play PlayStation 5 all weekend instead of going down in the basement, the garage. And I say those things because they say, well, it was rain outside. Basement, garage, or outside on
Or
the
in
patio,
the rain.
Outside on the patio, driveway, wherever it is. Like, we in the burbs, right? It ain't like you got limited places, right? park around the corner. You can go anywhere you want to play and just work on your handle, right? But you ain't doing that. And, you know, like my daughter, she got a real excuse because she got to go to the barn, and she don't make no excuses. She's
You said that, yeah, last week, yeah.
every day. And when she can't get there, she outside counting her steps in the yard, like she's got a horse in front of her. She's on a horse, right? Because she's so committed.
That's
you know,
awesome.
when Stevie was playing football all the time, and when he was younger, like every day, Dad, can we play? Dad, can we throw? Can we throw? Can we throw? We got to a point where we're going to the school parking lot a half hour before, and we go off to the side and we throw in the mornings, right? Because he wanted to throw every day. And you know, but when it came to basketball, he's like,
Now he liked, right?
Well, so I tell my other son, look, if you really love this, you gotta play.
Yeah.
You know, they like, you gotta play. Like, cause he said to me one day, he said, I don't want to be an engineer, because my younger son is so smart. Like, this kid gets straight A's, he gets a 92, and he's like, I'm terrible. You know, like, he's like 100, 98. I think for his last marking period, he got 197. Everything else was a 99 or 100 on all his grades.
That's great.
And so he's a brain, man. I'm like, bro, respect that. That's awesome. Like, you know what's great about being a brain? When you're an athlete, when you're 60, you can't be an athlete no more like that. When you're a brain to the day you die.
Facts.
Right? So respect that. That's amazing, right? But he's like, I want to be in the NBA. Well, you got to put some effort in.
Magic Johnson used to dribble a basketball. No, I mean, Isaiah Thomas used to dribble basketball watching TV. He said his mother used to yell at him every day, so he put a pillow under each side, and he actually made him dribble the ball harder.
Right.
And that's how he became one of the best point guards in the league.
Exactly. Like, that's got to be
eat,
second nature,
sleep,
man.
Drink, everything. Yeah.
Right. So, you know, but, you know, so like when I was getting off this tangent, the reason I was saying it is because, you know, you have to be dedicated. Like, when it comes to, so when that person asked me, you know, like, how do I keep my fitness motivation levels high?
Mm-hmm.
The response is by seeing the results. And the results are not going to come from always being motivated to go train. The results are going to come regardless of motivation, regardless of the challenge, regardless of whatever hurdle I got to jump. I'm going in and I'm training.
Discipline, baby.
And then because I do that,
that's what makes a difference. I'm
going to see my body look better than everybody else's. I'm going to see my body even surprise me.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, my motivation is going to be high to do it more. Right? So, yeah. So, if you guys are listening, damn them excuses.
Facts.
You know, you get up in the morning, it's just on your list. I'm doing it.
That's it.
I'm doing it. And
don't wait. You know, the biggest mistake is people will put shit off for the rest of the end of the day, middle of the day, the next day. You can take a day off, just not today.
Yeah. And what
today.
harnesses that engine? What makes that engine move is really understanding why you started in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, do you understand why you started? That gets lost quick.
Easy.
Yeah, you be getting that gym, and you on that 20 rep squat.
I say that fifth squat.
I don't know why the fuck I'm doing this.
What did I see today? I saw somebody do it. They had a squat challenge. Instead of doing 5 or 6 reps at a max weight, they did 30 reps of 225.
Yeah, that's serious.
Non-stop, on a rhythm.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty impressive.
That's very impressive. Very impressive. But again, are you why would you do it? Like, what makes a person want to do that, right? Like, I don't know.
Me either.
Like,
because I wouldn't want to do it.
I mean, I would want to do it just to tell people I fucking did.
If Fred said, Walter, this is on your plan for the day, I'm like, fuck you, but I get it done.
Right. So what's your why? I guess that's like a big part of it. Like,
I don't like to lose. That's my why, dude. I ain't gonna lie. You know, the most frustrating thing about our sport is it's so subjective.
Yeah.
You know, you could be a clear-cut victor to everybody else except for the judges.
Well,
And the thing that's the biggest frustration for me in bodybuilding. Powerlifting is different. You lifted or you didn't.
right.
If somebody likes a bald head but somebody likes a beard and you ain't got a bald head and you ain't got a beard, then you fucked.
Well, I always, like here's what happens. I'm a head judge, and you're judging, and everybody's partial to what they like.
Right.
So, if I'm a guy that grew up and I didn't have the best symmetry, but I was always shredded, then I'm always going to favor the guy that's a little bit more shredded. And I might even say, that guy's got great symmetry, he could have been harder.
Exactly.
Right? So
those exact words happen to me.
Happens a lot.
Those exact words happen to me.
Well, a lot of judges are what? The bodybuilders that didn't quite make it.
Okay, true.
And the bodybuilders that didn't, because honestly, you don't really see Sean Ray, Flex Wheeler, Phil Heath, Ronnie Coleman. You don't see them judging.
Nope.
Right? You don't see even the guy who made it to the pros and did a couple shows and did well, really judging. Promoters, yes, not judging. Most of the judges are top amateur bodybuilders that didn't quite make it, or people that love bodybuilding but they never really weren't good at it, right? So they have these images in their head of what they think their perfect physique would be, because honestly, when you've done it at the top level, I don't feel like judging all the time. I would, but I don't really have a desire. I'd rather help people get in shape, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
think about Weinberger. Did he ever compete?
He competed, and he was decent. But again, his wife was amazing.
Really?
Bev Francis. She's one of the best female bodybuilders ever. But he became good at what? Running the gym business, being involved in promoting. He became amazing at it, right? And he's become an incredible judge.
Yeah.
But when I talk about him I'll talk about judges. I'm not talking about him.
Right.
You don't see stuff like that. At the top level, there's discrepancy. But at the top level, there's going to be discrepancy because everybody looks awesome.
That's the thing. Like we were at the Arnold this year. How do you have Samson, Nick, and Andrew as your top three with Nick in the middle?
Well,
how does it even make sense?
Because I looked at it, and at one point I'm like, oh, Andrew can win. But then you see Samson and Nick, and they're both thicker than he is. Way thicker than he is.
Agreed.
But Andrew Jack might have been the most conditioned.
Yeah.
And then you go, well, Nick's just as conditioned, and he's thick. You go,
but Samson's bigger than all of them.
Samson's bigger than all of them and has just as good a symmetry as Andrew Jack. Right? So now I'm going to take the guy that gives up a little on each end, but has all of it overall.
Okay.
Right? So even in that instance, you're like, if I go with Andrew Jack, then I'm telling you, size doesn't matter. It's just conditioning.
Shape.
Right.
Because what they call it, Mona Lisa.
Shape is beautiful. Yes. You're right.
you can't beat his shape, bro.
Mike, don't leave me hanging out. My bad on that. I'm telling you, conditioning and shape is what matters.
Right.
I'm telling you, size is not the factor. If I go with Nick, I'm telling you, symmetry don't matter. It's just size and conditioning.
Right.
If I go with Samson, it all matters.
Okay.
Because he's got all of it.
So way too early prediction.
What? For Olympia?
1, 2, 3.
For Olympia.
For Olympia.
Derek winning that shit all day long.
Really?
I think Derek winning it all day long, yes. I think Hottie's going to be in second. I think Samson's going to be in third. And I'm going to tell you why. Derek's got the aesthetics, man.
I get that.
But he's got the thickness of Nick.
Sure.
And, I don't see nobody beating him, man. I think Derek's going to be conditioned out of his fucking mind.
For sure. Well, we know what Rambod does.
Out of his mind. And I think everybody's sleeping on Hunter because he is bringing a package that's different.
Well, we're going to find out.
Different. And
we're going to find out because Andrew Jackson's going to be in Texas against Hunter. So we're going to see.
Well, I'm not saying he's going to beat. I don't think he's going to beat Andrew Jackson. I think Andrew Jackson's going to surprise a lot of people.
It's not a surprise.
I mean, in terms of, no, I don't mean, I think people are going to see the transformation in his back.
Oh yeah, he's thickened up.
And-
You can see it now.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, Samson's gotten a lot bigger too.
Yeah. And stage ready.
I think those top five is going to be, I think it's going to be Derek, Hottie, Samson, Nick, and Andrew Jack in some order. They're going to be the top five. And
I think I co-sign that 100%.
I think
No Chris on you, top 5 for you.
Chris ain't got no glutes, man.
He has no. You
got no glutes.
It is the funniest thing.
He's like
it's pancake.
It's like Dennis Wolf.
Yeah.
It's like Dennis Wolf, right?
Yeah.
Like he just had a part missing.
That's the way he's built. That's his.
Right.
You can't be genetics.
I mean, he can do something, but it ain't gonna be, it's never gonna match those hamstrings. But I just don't think his body is gonna, trust me, when he won that last show, I commented on his post and said, yo, amazing. But you're seeing him against lower quality.
Yeah.
So if it's about shape, his shape can't touch.
No shape,
His shape can't touch Andrew Jack
Or Samson.
or
Rafael Brando.
I got to see what he's bringing. He
What he
switched
can-
coaches, you know what I'm saying?
But he also had an injury and.
Yeah, I
other
got to see
stuff,
what he's
yeah.
bringing. He looked very small.
The
at
last
Olympia
one,
last year.
Really?
He looked very small. Like,
He was 250, 260. He wasn't that small.
I didn't say he was small.
Okay.
I said he looked
Looked small.
Like,
Okay.
Dexter was never more than 235, 240.
Yeah.
And he always matched
He was
up.
also 5'5".
But he matched up next. No, he's 5'6". He
5'6".
matched up next to Ramy
difference?
all day, every day.
What's the
Because
difference?
it's tie-ins.
I'm messing with you, bro.
Oh. Man, I'm gonna tell you, I'm living every bit of my 5'7". Right, I'm living every bit of my 5'7". I think, when you look at this and you go, holy shit, like, I gotta see Andrew Jack up against these other cats, right? Because he looked so good at the Arnold.
Well, I saw him on the escalator, and that's a big dude, bro.
He's big,
Listen,
but he's got a lot of frame to fill out.
hey, it's a big dude, bro.
He's already shown you he's one of the top 5 bodybuilders in the world.
He is most definitely, in my opinion,
He pushed Nick.
Sean Roden 2.0.
Yeah, I can't. I don't. Let me see.
2.0.
I don't know, man. Sean's legs were phenomenal.
Andrew's legs are phenomenal. You'll see.
I think
Psycho Lewis is giving him the same treatment he gave.
absolutely. So is Chris.
And that's what I'm saying. So,
So is Chris. Yeah. I mean, trust me. I'm rooting for Andrew Jack. But I can't say 2.0. I love Sean, and Sean was like my brother, so I
Right.
can't say that. But what I can say is that I could see Andrew Jack surprise a lot of people and win this year.
I could see it.
I could see it clearly.
I got them too. You know that's my top two. Samson Andrew
I
is
know,
my
but
top
I'm
two.
telling you, man. Like
Derek, listen, Derek
seeing
is
Derek
wonderful,
in person.
But here's the thing. Okay, great. Derek is great. Shredded, thick. Samson, shredded, thick. Samson's a front double. Derek is a front double. Derek comes to Samson's triceps.
doesn't matter.
It does matter.
I'm gonna tell you why it don't matter. Because Samson ain't gonna be as hard as Derek.
I don't know, man. I can't. Listen, Milos, I think Milos got something up his sleeve, bro. I think Milos got something up his sleeve, and
I would have to see it. And like I said, Samson's gonna look amazing. But
Nick, we love you. We just
Nah, I mean, I think
yeah.
Nick right up. Man,
Nick is there.
I think Nick gonna be
Nick
in
is
the
in the top five. Top five is gonna be it's fixed. I think you're correct.
Because I'm telling you right now, like Nick's gonna come in so much bigger
And harder.
than he was. Well, I don't know if he can be harder. He doesn't need to be harder. He needs to be fuller and like that.
His legs gotta be popping, right?
Yes, he's gotta have that freak
Yeah.
factor because no one else is gonna have it.
So if they're rewarding Nick, why can't they reward Big Ramy, or is he done? Because supposedly his stem cells are working.
I don't know. We got to see, man. I mean, Big Ramy looked phenomenal at the Arnold. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
And they still
Put him in.
They put him in fourth, right? They create whatever narrative they want to create.
Yeah.
I go back to the time when me and Ben Pekulski were 1 and 2 at the Vancouver Pro. And if they had went with me, then they would have said shape and fullness and completeness. They went with Ben and they said his legs were freaky and he was a little bit tighter. So it just depends. They go with what they want to go with.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you see it, So I believe that I just believe Derek's going to win.
So do we think that Hassan Mustafa then is just not a top 10, top tier
Well, man,
guy?
I mean, he got to make it to Olympia first.
Yeah.
He's got beat by Phil Kahar.
Yeah.
And why? Because he missed his peak by
A day.
a tag. Yeah,
Maybe even half a day.
maybe.
How did they do that though? The scores were the same. They just flopped. Hassan was 3 and Phil was 6 on the prejudging. And then in the evening, it's flip-flop. How do they decide who wins when the scores are the same? Because the numbers were tied. They're both tied with the number of points. They both had 9.
Yeah,
But how do they decide who wins the show?
probably presentation. Probably
But it's not scored though.
I mean,
It's not classic. It's not scored.
the Arnold is scored, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Because the score, because they put the scorecard up right away now, and Hassan was 3, Phil Kahar was 6, and then in the night show, it was exactly reversed.
Right.
So they had the same 9 points.
Right.
How do you decide who wins?
So
You know
what
what I
did
mean?
they say? What did Nick Strength and Power say?
No, it wasn't Nick Strength and Power. It was Fozzy Fitness, and they.
Can't stand his voice.
But he be putting out the content though, bro. His little 4-minute videos up. Got the news. I'm out.
Yeah, yeah.
So he said that it had to come down to presentation.
Yeah, definitely.
But how do you, if that's not scored, why does it come down to that? If that's not scored, they should have made him pose down until there was a winner.
Yeah. To me, Phil Kahar just looked more dominating at night, right? Like I don't know, man. I thought Hassan had some shots, but I thought Phil was wide. I think what hurts Hassan is he's so thick.
Right.
He doesn't really have much width. Like it looks like his clavicles are narrow compared to some of the other guys. Like he hits that back lat spread next to Phil, and he looks like
little.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot going
little.
on.
Not little, but little.
Not a whole lot going on, right? So
Yeah.
now you take Phil's harder, and I mean I was pumped when he won, right?
I was too.
Because what does that say? I can still do this shit.
Yeah.
So I feel like me and Chris both feel like I could beat Phil.
I think you can.
So
You're looking at jump dates. I think that you cannot not be blowing smoke up your ass. I think you have a good chance at beating them.
yeah,
I think that's going to be
I mean, I'm excited about having the
We
opportunity.
know you can
to
get
go
peeled. Yeah.
So
We know you can get peeled.
right.
So.
So I'm excited about standing next to him, man, because I want to see what because it'll really put it'll really put me in a position to go, okay, can I still do this at this level?
One more time at the Olympia.
Yeah, and I'm like, see, like, here's what happened. Optimism happens when you start seeing yourself change. I'm like, well, shit, I win this Masters, go to the Olympia, I'll get invited back to the Arnold. I'll put that routine on like crazy. I'll be guest posing all over the world again. At the ripe old age of 48.
You old, bro.
I know, but Dexter was doing that shit at 53, right? So, and I've always been a late bloomer, so who knows?
Yeah.
And
We're going to find out when we find out.
I'm excited. Either way, I'm waking up excited every day. So fuck it.
Shit.
It's good. But yeah, man. So
you sleep.
What?
So you wake up every day. Man, I don't sleep.
I mean, I got a good 5.5 last night. If I could actually sleep, I might actually grow a little bit too.
Dude, I lost 5 pounds overnight the other night sleeping.
Yeah.
On Saturday night going into Sunday.
Yeah, you got a good amount of hours. Your body was like diuretic mode.
Yeah, it was.
You can let go all this stress.
All the stress.
Cortisol and come down, and next thing you know, this fluid just goes off your body.
Had that 10-minute pee on Monday morning.
Yeah. So real quick, right? So I'm looking at these. I'm looking at a client today, and this person is like really down on themselves right now. Why would you be down if you're not doing the work you need to do? For me, I might get down when I get fluffy, but I don't get down on myself because I know I'm not doing the work I need to do.
Right.
I know I went from doing cardio sometimes twice a day to none. I know I went from eating 2,000, 2,500 calories, eating 5,000 and 6,000 calories. I know I went from training like a fucking animal 6 days a week to training maybe 4.
Mm-hmm.
So why be upset with yourself? Why do you think someone would be upset with themselves?
Because they know what they can do, but it's easier to blame from without than to blame within. That's why. You know, either you made the phone call or you didn't. Either you lifted the weights or you didn't.
Right.
But it's easier
Right.
to find all the shit outside as to why you didn't do it.
Right. Right.
Versus saying, I didn't do it. Because I didn't do it.
Yeah, like people say, why would your business not be doing better? Well, duh, I ain't talked to enough people. That's it. Don't matter any other, it matters, nothing else matters.
That's it.
I didn't talk to enough people. Because if you talk to enough people, there'll be enough people consuming
20%
your
people are
product.
going to say yes, no matter what. You could talk to 1,000 people, 200 are going to say yes, just period off the rip.
Yeah,
That's the numbers.
that's the
All
numbers.
sales across the board, 20%. If you're exceptional, 25%, 28%. I'm super exceptional in sales, 33, 34% closing ratio. It's just, are you talking to enough people?
Yeah.
Eventually, numbers always shake out.
Yeah.
The question is, do you make them to
Right.
get to the numbers? You know, back in the car business days, I knew if I talked to 25 people a day, I'm selling 3 cars. And on Saturdays, I talk to 80 people, I'm selling 8. Because it's just how the numbers work. They always
Worked out.
work out.
And
every
whether I
single time.
sell 3 that day or so averaged out over the week, I sell.
It's going to come to the same amount.
Yeah, I sell 18. It's going to come to the
It's
same
going to
thing.
come to the same number every single time. So
I like that.
You know, you know, and what's crazy is people don't realize how good that really is. In baseball, if you're a fantastic batter, what are you batting?
33%. Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Ain't no there's no batters batting 500.
Yeah.
There's no batters batting 500. So in NBA, if you have a fantastic shooting percentage from the field, 48%,
40%. Yeah, 48%.
43%. Yeah. Same thing in sales, bro.
Yeah. You're right.
You know, but are you giving that 1% more, you know? I'll end with the guy named John Leahy. I'll never forget the article. It's an article they wrote about him in USA Today maybe 15 years ago. It was entitled The Man Who Sold the Sky. So he was one of the first business development managers, vice presidents of sales for Airbus, right? You know, big, huge jets. And he was single-handedly responsible for 97% of all sales of Airbus. They said, what wouldn't you do for a sale? Nothing. He said he's had faux pas with people in Thailand. You're eating half alive ducks.
Duck fat, yeah.
Disgusting. But he closes deals, bro. You know, and his closing ratio is 38, 37.
Wow.
You know.
Serious, yeah.
But he's responsible for 97% of the planes in the air, but he's only closing 37%,
That's
38%. So, you know, those types of things, you know, make me realize that extra phone call, that extra step, that extra bit makes the freaking difference.
Yeah, it don't got to be perfect. You just got to do it.
So keep swinging the bat.
Just got to keep doing it. So,
Like
all
our
right, man.
podcast, it ain't perfect, but we're going to keep swinging the bat.
Keep doing it. Keep talking to people. Keep dropping these nuggets of information.
That's it.
Trying to help y'all, and I hope you heard something here today that you're excited about that can help you in your upcoming week. You know, so 1% better every day. Go out and kill it. Stay motivated, and
Stay disciplined.
we'll see you next week.